Sagittarius, this is your week ahead astrology forecast from Astrology Motivation by Born Without Boundaries. My name is Michelle. Guys, welcome so much. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're astrology enthusiasts, this is the place for you. Feel free to leave comments below because I love to know how this energy is impacting you guys. In this video, Sagittarius, we're going to go through the major planetary aspects and transits in relation to your natal sun and how they impact your day-to-day throughout this week. This is the week of May 9th through the 15th, 2023. I have everything written down in front of me, and you'll see me referencing the notes throughout this video. So, where is your natal sun? Well, you know it's in Sagittarius because you have a Sagittarius birthday, but every single natal sun is located on one of the degrees of Sagittarius. There's 30 degrees in every zodiac sign. And so the only way to get that information is to have your natal chart created, and that's free. You could just search it online, free natal chart, and a bunch of websites pop up. All you'll need is your birth date, which you already have, your birth time, and your birth location, all of which are on your birth certificate. You plug that information in, and in a couple of seconds, you get all your natal chart information spit out, and it's awesome. And you can usually save that to your computer or take a screenshot of it. So if your natal sun, oh, by the way, you don't have to get that done. You don't have to do that. If you don't have one done, you won't need it for this reading. I'll be able to estimate the correlating dates in Sagittarius season that the dates that correlate to where your natal sun it would be positioned, but that's the most accurate way. So if your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Sagittarius, you are Sagittarius 1. If your natal sun is positioned between 10 and 19 degrees, you are Sagittarius 2. And if your natal sun is positioned somewhere between 20 and 29 degrees Sagittarius, you are Sagittarius 3s. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom out and look at the really big stuff, the stuff that is impacting everybody. And then we're going to zoom in to those things that Sagittarius is especially should be focused on. And then we will break things down into the 3 different decans so that we can get the appropriate aspects and how they're impacting your natal sun. And I can get really specific as to how that's going to impact you this week. So the big things. We have, I apologize. We have Mercury going direct, which is on the 15th, the very last day of this week. We won't start to feel it really moving direct until the end of next week, but at least we know that now it's direct. So there is some hope. But actually between it going direct and the following week, when it starts to really start moving forward again, that's when a lot of stuff gets churned up. So Mercury retrograde may end when Mercury goes direct, but the impact of it does not. Just an FYI, this can be more intense than the actual retrograde itself, that sort of backlash afterward. So FYI, it really won't be until the end of next week that we're free of this intensity and of this energy. We also have a conjunction between the Sun and Uranus in Taurus. The perfect conjunction happens on the 9th, which means they're both at 18 degrees Taurus, but all week long they'll be within 2 degrees of each other. So that's an interesting conjunction. Interesting is a good word for it too, because it is bright and it is clever and but it's surprising and it's dynamic, and it has the impact of, I'm curious about different things. I want to try different things. I'm looking for surprises, or you could be getting a lot of surprises, or you could surprise a lot of people, including yourself. Not necessarily you, but it's the energy of this conjunction is to surprise even yourself about what suddenly is interesting to you. It will take you by surprise. So we'll see how that relates to your natal sun and how that might play out for your week this week, okay? And then we have an aspect that's going to be lasting until June, through June 15th, which is Jupiter square Pluto. And we talked about that last week as well. Jupiter square Pluto is intense energy to say the least, but this week and next week, and even into the following week, it includes Mars as well, because Mars is in opposition to Pluto. So when you have Mars involved as well, it just intensifies everything. It exaggerates everything. It makes things more physical. It makes things more punchy. So this in particular, the next 2.5 weeks is really, it's really going to be intense and hard to not pop off a lot. This is about expansion and growth, but it's hard won, and it feels like it wants to grow, but it feels like it's being held back. There's a relentlessness about this energy, and with Mars involved, there could also be aggressiveness as well. Just an FYI. So let's zoom in on what Sagittarius should be focused on for this week. Jupiter is your ruling dignitary. So the fact that all this stuff is happening to Jupiter, I wouldn't be surprised if there was just an intensity. It could even actually assist you or help you. Like things that you couldn't break through before, you will break through now because you won't give up. There's a relentlessness about this energy that could really help you. So Jupiter is square to Pluto. It is square to Mars. Jupiter square Mars is almost combustible energy. It's very frustrating energy because it can never move fast enough for itself, and it can exaggerate a lot of aggression. The fact that Pluto is involved as well means things could take a permanent twist, or they could have so much gravity that things get changed, or actions that are taken now you can't take back. So it's something to be aware of. You may not want to take them back, right? You may want to use this energy to help yourself. And that's fine. That's an exceptional way to use this energy. Like, be relentless, but don't be ruthless. Anybody involved in this energy, and that would definitely be you guys, should be very, very focused on screwing their ethics and morals to their sticking place so that they can be relentless about something, but not ruthless. Because if you are ruthless in this energy, that will lead to very bad dharma. Pluto is watching. So it's really important to allow this energy, to use this energy to help you fuel those goals that you've had for a while, but not convince you that you should do anything, including hurt other people, in order to get what you want. So it's an intensity that could, like a line that's easy to step over. Just an FYI, but major changes will happen under this energy. And it's combustible, so it will not be subtle. Let's put it that way. Jupiter is also conjunct the North Node, which means it is future focused. If you didn't understand that and the fact that it's conjunct the North Node with all of this with Pluto and Mars, you want your future. You are definitely making permanent changes for the future. And in opposition to the South Node, it's almost like the devil on your tail. It's like, I don't want that anymore. I don't want my comfort zone. It's irritating. My comfort zone is calling to me and tempting me, but it's almost also inspiring me to just not turn back. Right? It's like you don't want to be where you were. You're inspired to make those changes. So overall, a really wonderful energy as long as you use it for good stuff. Okay, so let's get into the decans. If you are a Sagittarius that's born in November, you are decan 1. So we have Sagittarius, like say between November 22nd and November 30th. You guys are Sagittarius 1s. 10 to 1. It all depends on where your natal sun is, but that's usually the correlating dates to those between 0 and 9 degrees Sagittarius. Usually the correlating dates. So Sagittarius 1s, you guys are sextile to Pluto. So this energy that Pluto is involved in and that Jupiter is involved in, because you are also so this energy that Pluto's involved in, it's really good for you. It's providing opportunities, it's opening doors, and it's giving you the intensity to make permanent changes, take the bull by the horns, and never look back. So for those of you who really wanted to get motivated or needed motivation or momentum, here it is. This is momentum for permanent change. That's a long-term aspect too. So that'll be going on for the next 2 or 3 years. And then we have square to Saturn. So challenges with rules getting in your way, laws, authority figures. It doesn't mean they're against you. It just means that there's a lot. You're going to have to constantly deal with this stuff. For the next year, it's just going to be what it is. Also, challenges could be at work as well. You only the cusps, only if you are at the very cusp of Scorpio and Sagittarius, are you quincunx to Jupiter, quincunx to Mercury, quincunx to Venus. This is a very frustrating energy. But like I said, I think that the frustration is what's making you want to go forward. Whatever frustrations that you've had growing or changing or developing your life or being understood or in being valued, or how you look, how you express yourself, how you're seen, just how you see yourself, all of those frustrations are what's motivating you to make these permanent changes. So there is a relentlessness here and a momentum that is very positive and proactive, and it will be with you, especially this week. So this is a real good week to catalyze any changes you want to make, but those changes, that sextile to Pluto, guarantees they will be permanent, and they will make a big change, and they will make a big breakthrough. Sagittarius 2s. So you guys, your natal suns are trying to Chiron, which means there's healing going on. Now, if your natal sun is between, so this is for the people who are, your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees. The correlating dates, I'm going to estimate, but they're about the 1st of December through the 10th of December. That's about where we are on the calendar. So your natal suns are trying to Chiron. Trying to Chiron means you're healing. And when it comes to Chiron, because Chiron is in Aries, physically, like physical wounds, physical injuries, this is when you can start balancing those things out and finding cures, finding healing, actual physical healing that can happen so you can feel better and feel better about yourself. That is a long-term transit, so I wouldn't be surprised if you guys have been going through this for a couple of years, and you will be for a couple of more. This is a wonderful time to heal old injuries. If anybody's scheduled for surgery, don't do it during a Mercury retrograde, but definitely this is a good time to plan it, because it will help you to heal, especially things that you've suffered for a while from. Your natal suns are quincunx to Uranus and the Sun. So, of course, by default, quincunx to the conjunction between Uranus and the Sun. This is frustrating surprises, like surprises coming out of nowhere, information or technology that kind of shocks you, or interests that you have that you can't necessarily get a hold of or engage in. This is just curveballs being thrown at you left and right this week, because it's the Sun conjuncting Uranus that's really intensifying this energy. Your natal suns have been conjunct to Uranus for a while. So it's only when something conjuncts Uranus that it kind of sparks it to life and gives it a new energy. And when it comes to the Sun, this is everything out in the open. This is something being brought to light. Curveballs coming at you for everyone to see, or interest or developments with the self to grow and expand that you didn't even realize you may have. But since it's in a quincunx, it can be very frustrating. So you may be dealing with this externally, and it could be a very frustrating week for you. Just an FYI. We also have Sagittarius 3. So last but not least, guys, your natal suns are quincunx to Mars. They are quincunx to the Sun. They are trine to Jupiter, and they are square to Neptune. Now, Neptune is a long-term transit. This gives us sort of delusional kind of natal sun squared Neptune is. It's a little bit distractibility. It's very creative. So if you can use this energy to create and allow yourself to be inspired and be creative, then yes, do that. Or else you could lose yourself in your head a little bit too much. And this goes on for years. So just watch if you haven't changed how you're dealing with things a little bit, because you're getting a little bit too caught up in what you imagine happened instead of what's really happening. Just an FYI. There is a trine to Jupiter that is for the next couple of weeks, and that is a blessing. And that is such a beautiful energy. This is going to help you grow and help you expand and help you move forward and balance things out in ways that things will just get bigger for you and better as you go. A sense of wanting to, like a sense of being exposed to more that makes you, that makes you pleasant. It's pleasant. That's all I can explain. My words are so at a loss right now. I apologize. You want to get things done. That's what I wrote down, because your quincunx Mars, quincunx the Sun, these are fiery energies. These are forward, and I want to push. Motivated, that's the word I'm looking for. motivated to the point of being frustrated, of wanting to move forward. Definitely you'll find what makes you feel good and what you're interested in now, and it's a wonderful time, like I said, to create and expand through creating, through your creativity. So the Jupiter is in Taurus. No, it's in Aries right now, but it's about to move into Taurus, and it'll still be trying to your natal suns if you're at the beginning of the third decan. That's a very benefic time for you. So right now it was about healing or harmonizing your physical self. Now it's your financial self. So this could be a great, lucky time for you that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. Keep an eye out. I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for hanging with me. Leave comments below. Feel free always. Remember to give this video a thumbs up if you really liked it, and definitely subscribe to the channel so you know when I upload your favorite content. Come on over to Born Without Boundaries Tarot for your week ahead tarot card reading, Sagittarius. I'll see you there. Bye.